I think this is just going to activate it automatically. And now I'm going to hit F5. I'm going to do that. There we go. It looks like, boom, we're live. Of course, my own stream is muted because that makes sense. I'm going to move this over here. So move it over there. We have the screenshots over here. I started setting up before this. I'm not going to. I forgot to. Let me rearrange it by last modified and 26. Okay, so these guys are the old ones. Wait a minute. This one's not. That one's new. Right? Because the last one was 26. This one, yeah. Okay, so delete these. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which matches. So let's download that. Zip up the files. I've got nothing embarrassing open, so that's fine. I need to go to Documents. I need to go to Temp. I deleted them. Oh no, I still have a temp folder. Cool. Why is it taking so long to zip 7 images? I could probably download them all individually faster than this. It's not even doing it. We're just waiting. Hello Shortline, hello K. Let's try this again. Let's try this again. Download. Nothing. Oh, there we go. Okay, I don't know why that took so long. Let's grab that, put it in the temp folder, bam, bam, extract all, just to right here, and it's done. Okay. Now I may have accidentally set it to open PNGs in, hold on. Photos, always use this app. There we go. No, don't want to look at a picture right now. I wasn't looking at it. I wasn't looking at it. I didn't see it. Okay. Why is one a TIFF file? Oh well, I guess I can open it. Alright, so we've got 7 responses today. Says Shortline. We've got 7 whole responses. Stop doing that. It's got to be one of my least favorite things about Windows 10. Is it just, yeah, you want to put something else over there? No, I already have something over there. Thanks. Let's make this smaller. I've only got the one monitor to work with. Okay, so we're going to go by individual responses. And starting with Bring Your Camera to Work. I noticed the name of this one. This is Shortline. That's convenient. He's here to see it. But this is cool. Oh, I get it. Ha ha ha, terminal. I like the lighting. I like the way this feels. The, dawn or dusk. I'm gonna assume dusk. Cause that's it's the end. It doesn't pop, but it is very cool. I like it. Alright, copy. And we're going to do that. I just got a message. Yes, you're right, it is yours. It is dusk. Okay. I probably shouldn't be reading the chat too much, because I glean too much information off of the chat that helps me pad people's scores. Anyway, sorry, submission title. Bring Your Camera to Work. Oh, it's 1994. There we go. This is lengthy. Looking forward to reading it. Okay, by Shortline, although, yeah. Let me just paste that in there. So we're looking at this screenshot here. Too soon, K-Master. August 7th, 1994. Working for a port means you will encounter all kinds of buffs. Ship buffs, rail buffs, truck buffs. Something they all have in common is that they always bring their cameras to work, stopping in the middle of the day of something to snap a picture of a train or ship. I never understood it. Why take pictures of stuff you see every day? Nobody takes a picture of their microwave, do they? Maybe you don't. It was my birthday a couple of days ago, and my wife got me a new Kodak camera. I like to take nature pictures. I'm more attracted to an enchanted-looking forest or a calm lake than a semi-truck. My wife wanted me to test out the Kodak and suggested that I bring it to work, quote, like all the others do. Loving her, I obliged. I really like the way this is written. And so I took my camera to work. Despite this, I went through most of the day forgetting I even brought it. We had just gotten done loading a train when I suddenly realized that I hadn't taken any pictures all day. I had 15 minutes on the clock left, and forgot until now I was supposed to be taking pictures. I very quickly took the Kodak out of my truck, looking for something to take a picture of. That's when it came to me, the train we just loaded. I set up for a shot of the 3 locomotives with the crew in view. The sun was a golden brown fading into a deep blue, the lights all around. It made for a perfect shot. My wife would surely be happy. The crew noticed the man distantly taking a picture of them and their train. Not wanting to be awkward, I walked up to them. You a rail fan? The engineer asked. No, I just like photography, I said. That's what they all say, he chuckled. Before I could ask the crew where they were headed, I asked the crew where they were headed. Kansas City, but we're only going as far as Jackson. Before I could ask what he meant, he looked at his watch. Sorry, but we have to get going. That's okay. Have a nice trip. With that, the crew scurried up into the cab. I stood there for a few minutes, taking it all in. Eventually, the train started rolling. When the last car went out of my sight, I hopped in my truck and headed home. My wife was ecstatic. You have to bring your camera to work every day, she exclaimed. I guess I do, I responded. I guess I do. So, like I said, this is a very pretty screenshot. And it does feel like a real picture, and that's one of the things I like about it. It feels like a candid shot, just as it was described, not a crazily done up, wow, look at this beautiful scene and vista. It looks like I took a picture of my work. A modest sort of statement of a real photograph taken by a real person. We'll get to the scoring in just a second, but the production notes I like, so I'll toss that down there. Oops, what the heck? Did I just copy the... I copied the whole thing. Give me that, thank you. Just that. So, impact. I mean, like I said, it doesn't pop, but it is pretty. For that, I'll give it a 7. As far as creativity goes, well, you've bent the prompt a little bit, and I never knock off points for that. Looking at this, though, it is a very well done area. I can see the markings on the road, which I assume are prototypical. The trailers, the van, the train, double stack containers, the whole 9 yards, everything's here. And, you know, I'm looking at this and thinking, this is what a photo would look like. And so as far as creativity goes, even if this isn't an amazing shot with all sorts of weird and wonderful things about it, I still think it deserves at least an 8 as far as creativity goes. And it's a nice enough screenshot that I think I'm going to give it a 9. As far as construction goes, I mean, what can I nitpick up about the construction of this place? It's exactly what I would expect a place to look like. Maybe the concrete is too nice. That's, you know, that's about all I can think of. And, you know, part of me wants to pass the point on and down and down. I gave a 9 in creativity because I thought, you know, it maybe if it deserves an 8, but the one before it deserves an 8, so I'll pass the point on. Maybe this deserves a 10, but the creativity deserves an 8. I don't really know how to balance this out here, but it is extremely well put together. And I don't want to set the bar in a wrong place by saying this, but the reason I'm hesitating is because I really don't see a reason not to give this a 10. It is exactly as put together as can be in this situation. I mean, maybe, let me maybe look a little bit closer. Maybe, oh. Okay, I didn't see what those were. I just saw some trains. Yeah, the grass over. This is a 10. This is a 10. How could I not? Composition. I think the only thing that I can say is not great here, and again, reason is because it's a more realistic photo that way, is the contrast between the engine and the things around it, also because the engine's gray, it doesn't help, isn't great. So with that in mind, the lack of contrast, I guess I'll give it a 9. It doesn't stand out. Maybe it doesn't deserve that 9, but yeah. As far as content goes, the only thing I can see is the truck there is a little bit eh. Pavement's too nice. I guess, whatever. I'll give it a 9 on content. This is a really high bar to start with on a screenshot that isn't like blow your mind, which is kind of like I don't want to score this low. And I'm not finding things that are wrong with it, like reasons to score it low. But we know what the winning screenshots usually look like, and this is, like I said, modest. And again, I really appreciate it for that fact, but I'm giving it a lot of points. So the story. Honestly, I can find nothing wrong with the story. It's fantastic. This is a little weird, the way this is done. You don't know who's saying this line necessarily. I mean, you can figure it out, but I don't know. I don't love the way the dialogue is formatted, and the asterisks instead of italicizing. Give it a 9. Setting the bar real high today. World. Is there anything, like, was this van out in 1994? Probably. Yeah, I'll give it a 10. I'll give it a 10. I can't not. So relevancy, it is, I mean, Vert is not here to say anything about it. Based off but I think I know I usually either give a 10 or like a 5, but I feel like this is deserving of like a 9 because I agree with it, but Vert's specific description lends to the idea that this isn't what he was looking for. Which was something like where a line ends. And this isn't that. But I'm still going to give it a 9 because, I like it. Bring camera to work by shoreline, blah, 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 blah. This is there, this is there, this is done, everything's done. Alright, yeah, I'll give that a 10. Bonus. If this thing wins, it'd be ridiculous. I can't actually think of a bonus point here. I like it. I can't think of a bonus point here. Anyway, total. Let's do some math. I need to grab the calculator because I'm lazy. 7 plus 9 plus 10 plus 9 plus 9 plus 9 plus 10 plus 9 plus 10. 82. It's a pretty good score. And again, a pretty high bar to clear for the first screenshot. Okay. So I did actually set this up so that I don't have to keep... Guy's truck is in the back of the photo. I noticed that. It's neat, but it's not crazy stand out, and I feel like I've been really generous with that screenshot. I need to save some points for the other guys. Anyway, deleting this response, thank you for your submission. And next, we have the mole. The mole. Oh, okay, okay, okay. Wait a minute. What? None of these are called the mole. Ace Republic. Which is you, I'm pretty sure. Oh wait, I can see the name of the screenshot. The mole. Empty sky. Is that clouds or a mountain range in the background? I like all the SP stuff. Is this supposed to be someplace? Well, you got some action in here. This guy's way over to the side. You know it's not great when I'm opening a screenshot and the first thing I can do is complain about it. That's unfortunate. I would like to give more compliments, first of all. There's a lot going on in this scene in terms of all the different rail cars and this terminal here. I feel like it's missing background, though. Stop complaining about it. Compliment it. Well, the track asset's good. I know where this guy came from. There's a lot of good stuff here. Huh. Okay. Let me look at this. Let me pull this up. Let's see if it can be redeemed a little more by the story here. Okay. Not crazy. See, okay. See, I saw the mole. I'm just glancing at this. I saw the mole, and I thought of the mole in Dunkirk, which I am reading this now, realizing that yes, that is what that means. But looking at this, I would have no idea we're on a pier. The year is 1957, and you are witnessing the greatest dramatic irony in railroading history. Really, am I? The Oakland Long Wharf, more affectionately known as the Mole, period, established as the western end of the Transcontinental Railroad, it is now watching over the end of an era. This is the Oakland Long Wharf, more affectionately known as the Mole. Established as the western end of the Transcontinental Railroad, it is now watching over the end of an era. Next year, Southern Pacific will end service of the Starlight. Next year, Southern Pacific will end service of local passenger service, and that the once famous GS locomotives will no longer serve this station in any capacity. Even the California Zephyr will no longer arrive next year. Freight service will end 2 years, and soon after, it will be entirely destroyed. This, by all definitions, is where the train terminates. It is Land's End, the final stop, and with it, the beginning of the end for passenger railroading. Okay. Okay. Alright. Let me toss this down there. Whoops, wrong button. And it's gone. I guess I gotta do it like this, because I don't like leaving this on its own, on another page. Okay. So, also the show notes is using mostly default assets, a handful of things that I was able to download completely from DLS. I know some of the models aren't the greatest. I don't know what the mole actually looks like, so I have no idea how accurate this is, but I will assume that it's at least somewhat accurate. Eastrail says E. So, I also assume all of this is accurate. I don't know enough about the SP to say if it is or it isn't, but I expect that people have done their homework. Anyway, what to say about this? As far as impact, it is not a super impactful shot. There's a lot of empty space here, and even though it does sort of feel like, look at all this emptiness, we are about to reach the end, it's maybe too much. It almost feels like this image doesn't have a subject. If the camera was turned slightly in this direction and pulled back so that this guy was more like right here, and then you could see everything splayed out, and also if you could see the water somehow, not really sure how you would manage that with a camera at this level, which is a human level, just like the last screenshot. Maybe it would win some more points in this department, but as far as impact goes, I don't think I can give this more than a 5. As far as creativity goes, well, there's a few things here and there. You've got the luggage trolley. You've got all these different cars that are hanging around, the grain silo. I like how the fact that it is a terminal ties into the termination of service and stuff like that. So that's creative. That's interesting and neat. I don't know how accurate any of these consists or setups are. This guy looks a little new, but I'm not sure how accurate that is. Could have got a bonus point by making this a horseman character. But creativity, I mean, there just isn't a lot here. I think I'll throw it a bone and give it a 7. Construction. Well, things are nicely put together, but there's not a lot here. And we'll get to content later, but the assets are nice as they're going to get. I know some of these are definitely dated. This guy is. This guy's getting a little old. It's not even a bad model, it just doesn't age well. This is old, that's old, that's old. But this is not a question of content, this is how well this scene is put together. Honestly speaking, there's nothing wrong with it, but there's no background. And that's kind of what we're missing here. There's no scatter except for these 3 items, and there's no background. And I don't know how realistic it is to have all these engineless trains sitting here, although if this guy might just be nose in and not have an observation car on the end. This guy definitely isn't. I just don't know. But it's not poorly constructed, there's just not a lot here. So, with that in mind, I think I'm settling on a 6. Composition. We don't even know if this is actually near water. Composition. Again, there's a lot of empty space. There are a couple of things that could be subjects, but they're not centered. There are a couple of things that could be action, but they're not, like, pointed out. It took me a while to notice this guy over here, because there's nothing for him to be silhouetted against. It's not like he's over here and you can see the smoke against the clouds. The smoke is almost blending in with the shadow of this grain elevator here. So it's something to keep in mind. I assume this one went in. Oh no, this one went in a couple days ago. Or no, 4 days ago. Well, to build a terminal like this, I understand takes time. And maybe I'm discounting that when I gave a 6 for construction. But for composition, I mean, at least the lighting is good and even. Lighting is fairly solid. There's just nothing stand out about it, which is, if that's mean to say, I'm sorry, I don't mean to be mean. It's just the things that are running through my head here. So, for composition, honestly, I hate to be unkind, but I'll give it a 5. And I feel like that's generous, and that's, like, rough of me to say, but this, I don't know, it's maybe less than alluring, which is kind of a shame. Content, yeah, there are some off things in here, but I'll just give it an 8, because there are some nice things, and I need to, I don't know, doling out some sort of points. Story. So the story was cute and nicely written. I mean, not cute like adorable, but cute like it's nicely put together and But the way it ends is nice. I think this is no, never mind. There's ways to do repetition. Next year. There are ways to do repetition, and maybe this doesn't do it super well, but I'll give it a 7. World. Well, okay, this is real. I just don't know what's going on with some of these cars and trains and I don't know how accurate this is. It's tough for me to believe we're on Wharf. When I looked at this the first time, what I thought was we are in the desert. Uh, the screenshot's artifacted. Oh, that's a shame. So there were better ones out there, and you had to put this one up. That's disappointing. Uh, because this is a hell of a scene, and it could have so much more done with it. Uh, and I see what you're saying, Steven. Uh, it's just, I don't know. It seems like a lot. Uh, but as far as world goes, was this really that desolate? I don't know. I don't have any real life photographs of it, or real life screenshots. Um, I don't know. I'm gonna give it a 7. Relevancy. Well, it's definitely a terminal. Completeness. The This was not done properly, so best I can do is an 8. Bonus points. I think tying it all up in a nice bow is cool. To have it as the way it terminates and terminates and terminates, you know? That I think is nice. That's worthy of a bonus point. And I'm thinking if there's any other one I can pull out here, but I could give one because of the GSs in these cars. I just kind of, I like them. Because these are the connected cars, I think. But, yeah, I'll do it. Okay, let's tally them up. 5 plus 7 plus 6 plus 5 plus, whoops, hold on. 5 plus 7 plus 6 plus 5 plus 8 plus 7 plus 7 plus 10 plus 10 plus 8 plus 2. It's still 75. It's actually not bad. I'm just gonna double check because something is saying, hey, you might have messed up. Did I add an extra 10? 5 plus 7 plus 6 plus 5 plus 8 plus 7 plus 7 plus 10 plus 8 plus 2. Okay, yeah. I had an extra 10 for some reason. Damn, I was really surprised. Well, still passing grade. I had scores like that in college that were. It was good. I was very appreciative of them. Okay. Next one. Thank you for submission, Ace. Next one. A new big inning. That's what it says. Yeah, always use this app to open TIFF files. This is cool. Oh, I get it. My eyes went right to this. I just want to say they went immediately to this, and then to this, and I haven't even looked over here yet, and then to this, and okay, I like. Not only do I see what's going on here, I like it. It pops with all the different colors, obviously, and looking up, you see the city background. Okay, a new beginning. You've got some maintenance away train here, of course. Okay, I like this. Okay, give me that. Copy that. Toss it in here. Screenshot title. A new beginning. There was a kid's book I used to read when I was little, obviously. That was, oh boy, what is this? That was about baseball. It was one of these coming of age tales. and it's centered around baseball, and it started with "in the big inning" instead of "in the beginning." Okay, now this is how you write dialogue. Are you sure you're not fooling me? Yeah, I'm sure. Just take a look. It literally looks the exact same as last week. Take a look at Platform 6. Huh? What is that thing on the Broadway? See? I told you it really happened. That's the new Amtrak unit I told you about as well. So you really weren't kidding, huh? This Amtrak now controls all passenger trains? Yeah, everything. Even that Hiawatha on Platform 1. And the Burlington Northern's Empire Builder? That too. Super Chief El Capitan? Yup. Even that C&W commuter? Well, actually, no, that's still a C&W train. I think they only took over intercity service. I see. Shoot, it's 4:30. Come on, we're going to be late getting home. Oh man, Mom's going to be so mad. I could have done better at differentiating the voices there. I'm sorry, my VA is rusty. My VAing is rusty. But I like the story. I feel like the kids are sometimes talking in almost more refined language. It almost doesn't feel like dialogue, and I have no idea how old these kids are supposed to be, so who knows. But also, it just, the one thing that strikes me is naming the companies of the trains in front of the trains, except for the Super Chief El Capitan, which that one rolls off the tongue a little bit more. But would you not just say, oh, the Hiawatha, the Empire Builder? You know? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, do it here on the Broadway, right? I don't know. It's good. It's a little bit clunky of dialogue, but at least it's formatted well. Uh, and it's definitely not the worst dialogue I've seen. It's actually quite good. Uh, so, impact. It just jumps out at you, doesn't it? It does. Uh, Now, there's nothing crazy about the lighting or the, whatever, but combined with the title, looking at this and it clicking, I think that's deserving of an 8. I like it very much. Now, as for creativity, I know putting the scene together had to be a lot of work to pick out all the things. I have no idea if these concepts are prototypical. Actually, we should read the production notes. We should read the production notes before I start scoring. Okay. If you're confused about what you just read, it's the conversation of two school kids who frequently obversed the railroads that came and went into the big station in the city of Chicago. Of course, this isn't fully accurate, as each railroad shown here used a different station. However, I had condensed it to get my point across. So I'll probably get points deducted for historical accuracy. Hey, you're bringing it up here? I don't think I ever would have known otherwise. I did know that there were other terminals in Chicago, but I didn't know to what extent they were all used at the beginning of Amtrak. Anyway, Chicago is the terminus for many trains entering, but also the starting point for many trains leaving. I decided to utilize this to my advantage. Again, this isn't a fully accurate representation of the Windy City, but I hope the trains used at least got the point across. Early Amtrak is really fun to recreate, what with all the rainbow and colors. Happy Pride Month. Actually, that's a funny crossover, sort of. The timing of it, coincidence. If you look really closely, you can even see some other clutter on the tracks, like new ties and rails and some REA stock. The content I used is a mixture of DLS content, reskins, jointed rail club car, the erecting hall, and unique models I had made. High levels go burr. I was going to add more stuff into this shot, however, right after I installed TOS-19, my laptop is experiencing some issues. Mainly the route I use for this shot always crashed my trains when I try to load in. I wouldn't know anything about that. I'm not sure if it's memory issues, the result of trying to transfer content to 19, or something else, but trains have become very unstable. It won't matter anyway when I'm gone. I guess this is a good time to mention. By this time you show this on the stream, I will have taken my leave from the IHC server and I won't be coming back. It was fun to be there, however, I have learned that it is wrong for me to try and make a name for myself by trying to insert myself into other things and try to fit in with the crowd. I finally come to terms with that I am my own person, and therefore I am forging my own path in life. Okay? I don't know where it will take me, but that's always been the beauty of doing so in life. Why did I send this entry anyway, even though I was leaving? I wanted to make one final contribution and go out with a bang, as they say. Not necessarily something to be remembered by. I know a few of you have a negative impression of me, and TBH, I doubt a screenshot of a train game would do much to change that. However, that's not the point of making this shot the way I did. Instead, I want it to be a thank you to everyone who made my time in the server as memorized as it could be. I enjoyed a lot of my time there, from the games of Among Us, Yummy Crocs, to the coffee shops, to just chatting. It was truly an experience I will cherish. I also want to thank everyone in the server, too, for giving me a second chance when I came back. I wasn't the best and didn't really deserve that second chance, but live and learn is the saying, and learn I did. You guys helped me shape myself to be the better person than I was 2 years ago. I really am going to miss you guys. In case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Well, that's a shame. I really did like having Ian around. But, anyway. That was a lot. Probably the most complete production notes we've ever had. And also a little bit sad. But we should proceed with the judging. Current doesn't come out. Oh, okay, with the voice acting. As far as creativity goes, putting together the city scene, putting together the station, I don't know how, I don't know what it's supposed to look like. I know it's not explicitly prototypical, but it takes a lot to do this sort of thing. I mean, all the terminal shots that are going to be major terminals are going to take a lot of work. Maybe that's more of a construction point. But creativity, I mean, this is pulling from all these different places, getting your own stuff. How can I make, reskinning, stuff like that? Maybe I'm getting sappy, but I think it deserves a 10. As far as construction goes. Now, obviously, I know we don't have a lot of good high-rises, and obviously I know that not only is this, slightly inaccurate, but the buildings in the back aren't perfect. But it makes a convincing city scene. Now, the only thing that is not perfect is the way the buildings sort of line up to one another. The way that, even the way this looks is fairly convincing, and the only thing that really gets me is that you have these squished signal bridges, because I know they're designed to be longer, and when you smush them up like that, it ends up looking kind of, well, not great. It ends up looking smushed. But, I noticed that there is a road up here, so even went as far as to do that. Yeah, I like this a lot. I think I'm going to give this an 8 for construction, because it's a lot of work. I feel like the city itself could have been fleshed out a little bit more, and I don't know what you necessarily would have done about these, but there are plenty of other signal bridges out there. Also, these guys, I think, are sunk into the ground too much. They're supposed to have little concrete footings. I know I had to raise them every time I used them, and you might not even know that without playing around with them. As far as composition goes, yeah, Chicago Lake Union Station, yeah. Composition is, I mean, what can you say about this? I mean, the lighting is a little bit flat. There's not much that's, super flashy. And maybe this guy could be pulled back to like here, so he wouldn't be fit nose in under the bridge. But it's a well-composed shot in that everywhere you look, there's a lot going on, and nothing is particularly overbearing, except maybe the highliners. Or the high levels, rather. So, And I don't know what this is. So, with that in mind, I think, and all the effort that it took to get everything in the right spots to sort of evenly distribute how much is going on in all the different places on this image, I think it deserves an 8. So, position 8. Content. So I would knock a point off for club car stuff. Uh, because that's, if I'm remembering right, that's stuff that's like very limited access, and you have to have the membership, and you have to have the membership at the right time, right? I haven't ever been a club car member, but I'm not going to do that. High levels are supposed to be overbearing. Yeah, no, understandable. Uh, they've succeeded. But I can't not give this a 10 with where everything is coming from. I can't not. Just the amount of work that went in to get all of these things in to this, it's, you know, pretty astounding. Uh, yeah, we're dog sitting. Only until the end of today, but I'll pay the dog tax. Oh, my wire's stuck. Jaeger. Hey, Jaeger. Oh, and now it's not sitting right because it got stuck on the wire. Why do I do this? Now it's crooked. Okay, well, it's going to remain a little bit crooked, I think. I can't do a lot about that. There, I paid the dog tax. That is a pit bull. The only club car thing is a GSC flying car. Okay, fair enough. So, story. Again, nicely set up dialogue. A good way to introduce everything. A little bit clunky, like I said. I think easily deserving of an 8. World. I mean, I know that a screenshot based on historical events does not need to be strictly historical. There's nothing here that screams wrong, and I know that there wouldn't be because this is one of Ian's screenshots. I'm sure every item here, particularly every piece of rolling stock, was meticulously picked. So I would love to just give it a 10 and call it a day because I love the screenshot. It deserves all the points. But the way that the buildings are set up and stuff like that, I have to give it a 9. Relevancy, definitely a 10. Completeness. I mean, it's not like Ian doesn't know how to do this. There you go. There's a 10. And as for a bonus point, I'll miss you. The 50th Amtrak unit, because I like that. And there was something else that struck my mind, but I cannot remember what exactly it was. I mean, it's an incredibly detailed and interesting shot. It is a great era to show off, specifically the beginning of that era. And I'm glad to have it. Thanks for being around, Ian. Anyway, 8, no, sorry. 8 plus 10 plus 8 plus 8 plus 10 plus 8 plus 9 plus 10 plus 10 plus 3. It's an 84. Thank you for your submission. And if you ever change your mind, you know where to find us. Anyway, next submission. Next submission. Typical British weather. Okay. Typical British weather. Yeah. Okay. Also 4x3. Bus up here. How does bus get down from here? Doesn't look like it. Oh, it's a double-decker bus. Uh, of course. Southend. The little details, they're here. It's a good screenshot. The dog is snoring loudly. Okay. Submission title, Typical British Weather, ... by Brian. Oop. Fog intensity max. It's true. In the 1970s, the old London, Tilbury and Southend Railway, now a BR line, experienced a significant spike in both local, commuter travel, and tourists at Southend-on-Sea. Because of this, BR built a new small terminus station to supplement the two existing stations there in 1977. This station, Southend Shore, oh, that's an S, I thought that was a 5, is seen here on April of 1989, now being served by the ubiquitous Network Southeast division of BR. As a westbound express commuter sits idle on track 1 ready to begin service, a Class 117 set pulls into track 2 to drop off the first commuters of today's traffic. So this is a morning, not an evening, and not that you could tell due to the fog. Could be any time of day. Just knock stuff off the desk. Cool, like that. Let's look at the show notes. Once again, with my limited IRL time constraints, ain't we all? I had to simply modify existing content for this one. This route is a small model layout, really, called Daronda Road, which I attempted to rebuild into a full-scale scene set around a fictitious third station in Southend-on-Sea. Never would have known it was fictitious. The stock used, as well as the route, are all available on the DLS. As an unusual note, the bigger station signs are supposed to say Southend Shore, but they decided not to work and still said Daronda Road. Because of this, I had to use the shot perspective to improvise. Well, honestly, I think this turned out well. I think this is a good perspective. Certainly it's one we have not... actually, we sort of had this in the last screenshot, but not over top of a train. This looking down approach, view, etc. Yeah, I'm looking at this and I like the way it looks. It doesn't pop, but with a screenshot like this, it doesn't need to pop. It looks a little more eerie. And typical British weather. It's not raining, but at least it's foggy. So, as far as impact goes, I mean, it easily earns an 8. Easily. Creativity. Turning a model railroad into a thing for this, that's cool. Going British, also a little unusual. I mean, we only have the same train set, but it's not like I can really complain about that unless... Well, this and this look the same. This looks different. I don't know British trains, so sue me. I don't even know all the ones that ran in my backyard. So, train is train. I keep telling people that. But as far as creativity goes, working the weather into the shot as well. I mean, it's nice to see. It doesn't always happen. Although I feel like sometimes it's almost like if it's normal weather, and most days are just normal weather, although normal weather in different places is different things, but like the other three screenshots where it's just a normal day and no precipitation, no like cloudiness seriously to speak of. Although I think one of them had some overcastness. But either way. Point is, I like the stock. I am going to give it an 8 for creativity. Actually, I'll give it an 8 and a bonus point because I find it interesting that you adapted a model layout. Construction. You adapted a model layout. Otherwise, it looks pretty well put together. If this is a platform, this is extraordinarily narrow, and there are lights on it, and I don't know why. Oh, wait, no, sorry. Yeah, wait. Is this... I don't know what I'm looking at. It's too damn foggy. Is that supposed to be a platform? Or is this supposed to be? Or this is just, like, passing track? Because it's pretty easy to see what the platforms are, and this light is lower than that light. I'm not entirely sure what's going on here, but that isn't a big deal. It's well constructed. There are no frills, there's not a lot of empty space. The way that it's set down in here looks nice. Again, I'm sure some of this wasn't you, but the way this area is, it feels very real. In fact, it reminds me of Ruggles Station in Boston, which I had to pass through every day once upon a time in the before times. It's also Deronda. Oh, DER versus DAR. Okay. I'm not. So I'm not really sure what to give here. I mean, I don't know how much of it was adapted. And I like this screenshot. But I feel most right giving it a 7. Despite the way it feels very real, which I'm easily going to give it a 10 for world. Composition, nicely set up, nice lighting, even though it's, smooth, moody and smooth because it's foggy. There are no lights coming off the front of the engine here, which is a little bit of a strange thing. But the way everything is framed up, I think, came out pretty well. The only thing is this. And even then, it's not that noticeable because it's right at the edge of frame. So, I think I'll give it a 9. Content. Give it a 10. It's all available on the DLS, and it all looks pretty good. Story. I like how you totally hooked me, and you hooked, line, and sinkered me. I did not think this was a fictitious station at all. And I kind of like you working it in to this. I already gave you a 10 for world. But as far as story goes, I think I'll give it an 8. I think I'll give it an 8. Maybe a 9. But I'll give it an 8 and a bonus point because you suckered me in. Because I was sitting here thinking, oh, this is real, and it's not. And the reason I keep doing that 8 and a bonus point or something and a bonus point is because I want to give one more, but it almost feels like doing that would be overselling on that particular point. Relevancy, yeah. Completeness. Screenshot is named correctly. Everything else is filled in. I'll give it a 10. Bonus points. 8 plus 8. Oh, sorry. Bonus points, I already gave 2. I can't really think of anything else other than maybe giving a point for a double-decker bus because they're just iconic. I'm sure these things are iconic to somebody as well. But I've given a pair of bonus points. Is there anything? Yeah. Whoops. Get out of here. 8 plus 8 plus 7 plus 9 plus 10 plus 8 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 2. It's an 82. We've seen that before today. 82. Anyway, thank you, Brian, for this beautiful screenshot. And for taking us a little bit out of the typical scope. Anyway, late that, we're down to the final 3. Let's see what we've got. Somewhere in the city. Where are the Pacers? Yeah, 0 out of 10, no Pacers. If somebody gets a screenshot with a SEPTA Pacer, that's going to be some bonus points right there. Somewhere in the city. by Kenny W. The lighting here is weird, but man, I feel like this would be posted up on a wall somewhere. Bam! This looks like a Lionel poster. I like this. I feel like there are things in it that I can definitely critique, but I looked at it and it just jumped off the page at me. Not 100% in a good way, but it does definitely pop. So for that, it gets a 9 in impact for sure. Can I get back to it? Thank you. So let's settle this down into its place. The submission title is Somewhere in the City by our very own K-Master. Oh, based off a real photograph shown here in the video. Okay, we'll get to that. Let's copy you, paste it in there, and let's read this. I see the gateway route will never be the same. Oh, this is another twisting of the prompt, isn't it? God. Okay, thank you. Dated Friday the 13th, 1963, the cracked C&E passenger train, the Baltimorean, pulls out of 10th Street Station in Indianapolis. The double-track C&E... Oh, hey, it's C&E again. Now, this time I know it's not real. Didn't have the room to build station tracks. Thus, this is a chokehold for the over... I think you mean a choke point. For the over 85 trains per day that come through here, 10 to 12 of which are passenger trains that stop here for at least 10 minutes. C&E numbered 290 wasn't supposed to pull this train, but during a failure of the F7s that usually pull it, the 290 was selected due to its power and being tied down for the rest of the week. Maybe the date had something to do with this pain for the crews, but amazing experience for the rail fans as 290 now had to start 14 Bud Lightweights fully loaded with over 900 passengers on board. Wow. Luck was also on the side of the photographer as a high-speed 2FC road freight passed, headed westbound on Main 1 at the same time. The caboose passed just in time for this amazing photo to be snapped. As 290 gathered speed, the USNS semaphores sprung into action as their searchlight replacement still loomed sitting dark. It had been almost 58 years since this photo was taken, and since then all remnants of these tracks is the basis of the signals that once protected billions of dollars of cargo and made sure the C&A trains ran efficiently. The gateway route will never be the same. So this is not a terminal. So as much as I like this photo, it's not a terminal. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Let's see what we've got. Can I move that down? Thank you. This is based on a real photograph shown from this video. That's a Rickroll, you son of a gun. I see the XCQ. Now I won't feel as bad knocking down your points for relevancy. You thought you were... It says through here. How do you not build terminal stations at a... Where is this guy going then? I feel like you didn't explain this. And you tried to Rickroll me. The lighting is real nice. It's allegedly a terminal station. Anyway. Fine, I believe you, but not very much. Impact, boom, that's a 9. Creativity, well, it's your own railroad. It's got a story behind it. Let's see, 63. Station asset is older than the Thomas Season 25 Phantom multiplied by 15, but it's the best on hand. What does that mean? The number on the cab turned out black because the train's lighting. Oh, couldn't fix that, sadly. C&E, this location didn't exist on a railroad based off nothing, really. Yeah, based off nothing, railway. Huh? Based off a real photograph, based off nothing? It's a little sus. Creativity. I would give you an 8, but it's a 9 because you tried to roll me. Because that was creative. Construction. I feel like you're missing something here. The sky is also just black, which, if it's nighttime, I get it, and if it's like an old flash photo, I guess I get it. It actually does look pretty real, but we'll get to that in composition. I just feel like you're missing something. Though this turned away from the track because it's not active yet, that is awesome. This stuck in there, this and this. Is this your station? Although this is, you don't have a thing here. I'm going to give you an 8. There's not a lot here, but at least it fills the space. I don't know. Maybe that's generous. I'm being generous with this one, I guess. Composition. I love the way this is composed, except for this. If that's supposed to be your station, I get it. But, man, it doesn't fit in the frame very well. The other thing is, this area over here with the building fading into the background just feels a little weird, and I don't know why. Where? It's going for some fun times in Cleveland. Lighting's a night photo. It's going off of the edge of the map. SMH. He's going to a pocket dimension. It's seen. He's very well known for it. Yeah. Composition. I really like the composition of the shot. I'm gonna give it an 8. There are just some weird things about it. That's it. Content. Actually, you know what? I'll give it a 9 because of the photographic look. Content. Everything here looks good. I mean, the caboose is reskinned. Everything looks nice. I probably wouldn't have looked too closely at this if you didn't bring it up. This guy here. It looks like it's turned inside out. I don't know what's going on over there. I'm gonna give it a 7 and move on. Story. There are some typos here and there, but otherwise, I like the typos. I like the way it's set up. I like the story. It's kind of weirdly out of place. I think I'll also give it a 7. World. Well, this is where I'm stumped, and we'll get to relevancy in a minute, but this is where I'm stumped, because there are a lot of little details that make the world work, and everything seems to fit together. There are just some things that are making me feel weird. The way the station is set up, the way this whole area is set up, I don't know, it just feels like there's something missing other than the crossing boards. I'll just give it a 9. I'll just give it an 8 and move on. Relevancy. I'm gonna look deep into the chat for this one. This is not a terminal. It's not a terminal. I'm looking at this, and I read it, and you say it's a terminal. I don't think it's a terminal. I don't believe you. I know. Okay, I need some water. I need to think about this for a second. There's not even like a metaphorical... No, it's called imagination. Yeah, well, it's also called having a terminal. I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna be nice and give you a 4. Which is still lower than I gave East for submitting Man in the High Castle. So, I don't know what that says. At least there was a bridge in that one. There's not a terminal in this one. But completeness, yeah, you completed the prompt. Bonus points. I mean, you reskinned your own content. It's your own custom stuff. Which, I mean, I guess I should have given another point for Ian reskidding his own content. But, who knows? Bonus. I'll leave it. I'll leave it. This is just me scrounging for an extra point here. I'm not sure why I'm doing it. Anyway, 9 plus 9 plus 8 plus 9 plus 7 plus 7 plus 8 plus 4 plus 10 plus 2. So 73. Honestly, I feel like it deserves more than that. I really do genuinely feel like it deserves more than that. I guess if it was a terminal, you would have got more than that. You would have got, let's say, you get a 79 if it got a 10 on relevancy. So, I keep checking and then forgetting. 73. It does matter. Hey, Dean. Okay, this is the penultimate screenshot. I appreciate your submission, though. Let's see what we've got. Bird, check what we got. We've got the hobby. This hobby will terminate at the station. If this is okay. Okay. I was almost. Wait a minute. Terminus of Termini. No, this hobby. Why did I click on that one? I jumped to. Okay, here's what happened. Hold on, roll back the clock a second. That's East's. It doesn't surprise me. I saw the hobby will terminate at the station. I remembered people making statements about, hey, what if we just submitted the Terminus screenshot, IBB, the Terminus thumbnail as a thing. So I went, hobby will terminate at the station, Terminus podcast reference? It's got to be East's thing. No, it's this one. I'm sorry about that. I spoiled it. We've got another model railroad pick with an F40 in it. And this, and this, and this, and an Athearn box. You really like these assets, huh? What is that? Is that a spaceship? Is that from Elite Dangerous? What is that? That's another spaceship or something. Nothing to see here. With lots of redacted text. Camp 5. I spoiled myself by clicking on the wrong screenshot because I was expecting East to be faking me out with stuff. Oh, look at all the cardboard boxes. No one on Earth has their cardboard boxes arranged this nicely. Also, they're sitting half on the edge of the platform. Okay. I really like the boxes. It definitely makes them feel small. That is excellent about this image. And maybe if we didn't have the walls here, I would be saying something different. But looking down at this angle with this backdrop at these trains, I 100% believe that they are models. They do not look like real trains, you know? And that's a really good thing because this is obviously locomotives for my screenshot. This is obviously another one of Ryan's screenshots. Obviously, it's going to be another hobby one. Okay, let's grab this. Let's put this in the thing so we can talk about it. This hobby will terminate at this station. I hope it doesn't terminate. Let's go down. Sure, Empire Builder. Nothing special done, really. I mean, it's cool. And let's grab this and read it and talk about it. Anyone who has at least a passing interest in model railroading knows this image all too well. The steady beat of change and the ubiquitous cardboard box. It seems as if those mighty model railroads don't stand a chance if something newer and flashier comes along. In this case, the space age finally caught up with the steel rail, and the news is not pretty. To make way for this extraterrestrial diorama, the railroad must go. Boxes make up what once was a glamorous terminal, with some equipment already being packed away. Ha, double entendres again. Trains of all types, sizes, and regions are present for the slow process of dismantling. The background illuminates the future, figuratively and literally. Who needs terminals and switches when one can construct a futuristic space colony worlds away? The railroad exits stage right, potentially for the last time. Well, I don't know about you, but I never replaced my model railroads with space age stuff. What tended to happen was my parents would say, "Why are there train tracks all over the living room?" And I would say, "Don't worry about it." And a week later, they would make me pull them up. I have taken over the room a few times. Just do it in KSP. How is the dog? How is the contest going? You guys can answer the how is the contest going. I can say, well, how is the dog? I can answer with doing this again, if everybody wants to see the dog again. Jaeger is in the process of snoring very loudly. Jaeger. Hey, baby. Now I feel bad because I woke her up, but I wanted her to look at the camera. There we go. There we go, we go. What the dog doing? Snoring. Interrupting my recording. I keep moving it the wrong way. There we go. The Bab. Okay, so impact. Unfortunately, a little bit of it was robbed, but I'm going to give it an 8. Creativity. We've got another model railroad screenshot. It was definitely creative the first time. This time, oh, I love you too. This time it's still creative. It's not as wacky as the last one with the bridge going across all the things. But to pick out all the different types and also to have the model railroad in the process of dismantling for reasons other than just moving, I think that's pretty cool. Creativity. Yeah. Where do you find these assets? Let's see. I wish we had more walls than this, though. Something that could have been done, though, I think the thing that's missing here is the edge of the table. And you could have gone for the tables getting pulled up. Who just texted me? That was definitely a text. Yeah, I mean it. Gloria just texted me to follow up on the... Where is this? I need to not let the simping overtake the contest. So, creativity, I'll give it a 9. Construction. Again, it's very well put together. The boxes, I think, are sitting on the edge of this, which is not great because they can't be tilted. But the Atherin box sitting here blocks that, although it looks like this is an advertisement. Before anybody says anything, there you go. For you know. But construction, the one thing that doesn't line up about the construction here, other than the messing around with all the boxes, is the setting up of the camp stuff, like, already. I mean, I get wanting to do it ahead of time, but there's very little here that seems actually half dismantled. You could have had some tracks ending. You could have had some, stuff more strewn about. I very much like this, but I feel like you could have done more with dismantling a model railroad. So with that in mind, I will give it an 8. Because it's well put together. I mean, what can I say? Composition. Like I said, this shot does a very good job of showing stuff off. I can't really think of much that doesn't seem right, aside from, of course, the wall being very tall. You could have just slapped a backdrop down over here, because if it's a 2D backdrop, it still looks accurate on a model railroad. Nothing crazy with the lighting and stuff like that. But definitely nothing wrong with the composition. I think I'll give it a 10. Why not? That's generous, but I'll give it a 10. Content. I can't not give it a 10. I mean, look at all the space stuff. It so outweighs all of the other stuff. Even this being old and I mean, that's kind of it. I don't really have any other complaints. I've got I've got nothing negative to say about the content. I've got all sorts of positive things to say about the content. Story. Well put together. The double entendre. Flows well. Yeah. It gets it done. World. I will give it an 8 for reasons already stated. I just feel like there could be more. Like, it doesn't feel like this is actually being ripped up. There's sort of a whoops, dichotomy going on here between, like, oh yes, stuff is getting put in boxes, but everything is actually just set up really nice. It's not like, aside from these boxes that are sort of strewn around here, and the stuff sitting on the shelves, which seems to be very deliberately placed and organized, nothing seems like it's in the chaotic process of actually dismantling. So that I think this screenshot could have gone much further with that, and I'm sorry if I'm judging it too partially on the basis of what it could have been, but oh, those are platform shelters. I thought they were like tracks on posts, and I was curious about that. Well, in that case, I'll give it a 9, because then that makes sense. I mean, a whole series of Mars space assets. Gotcha. Anyway, relevancy. Yes. Completeness. This is like the only thing I have to check, but I will check everything else. I'm pretty sure it's, yeah. Completeness is a 10. Bonus points, 1 for that, 1 for wacky stuff. Should knock 1 off for advertising. Are they paying you? Is Athearn paying you? No. I like the assemblage of stuff here, just in general. Anyway, let's tally this up. 8 plus 9 plus 8 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 9 plus 10 plus 10 plus 2. 86. 6. I think that's the highest score thus far. We've got 1 left. 84. 82. Yeah. The last one. And unfortunately I spoiled this one, but I admittedly already sort of knew what was coming. I really have a bad history of spoiling East's screenshots for myself. Okay. This is nuts. And of course your eye goes right to this because it's darker than everything else in the image. Everything else is kind of blown out. The shadows are not kind here. Why is this? Oh, at least there's a train in this one. Guys, there's a train. That's good. Oh, there's 2. And that, yeah, some carriages. This is a lot. I love the destroyed buildings. Oh my god, there's so much going on here. This is insane. East, you go nuts with these things, but you've really outdone yourself with the scatter this time. Also, why is there a buffer here and then a crossing and then the end? With sandbags. The guns on a turntable. Is that what they did? They put guns on the turntable? How did the gun get on the turntable? This track doesn't line up. Thinking. So, anyway, let's Okay. I'll have to read the thing to get all this information. Uh, so, excuse me. Submission title: The Terminus of Termini. I don't know what. Uh, the Calais line in Calais, France. Nope, wrong spot. This goes down here. The Calais line. Had seen heavy development during World War II. After being flattened by Ju-87s, the Germans rebuilt the line with two terminals in mind, one for passenger trains and the other for their massive railway gun, the Krupp K5E. Somebody knows what that sounds like. By 1942, extensive reconstruction of the city and its rail network was nearing completion, or nearing competition, but was being hindered due to an important project, the construction of the Atlantic Wall. Supplies in this picture are heading towards the beach to fortify the beachhead. This cannon shows an unknown general witnessing the firing of the massive Krupp K5LA railway gun. Judging by the angle of the sun, it seems to be sometime in the evening. The image is dated June 1942. A passenger train is seen departing Calais Terminal with the evening express train. This was the other terminal of this short yet explosive branch line. I'm sorry that I keep touching my nose. My allergies are getting at me. The screenshot is based on a real-life railway cannon site in Wimereux, Port-de-France, and Calais, France. Assets are from this website. This is the most effort I've put into a screenshot, which took several days of work, including individual places, RDAA tank shells, people inside the vehicles, completely custom-made turntable. Wait, seriously? Several reskinned asset and much more. Some of the stuff you may think is one asset isn't. The flying 2 centimeter, or the 2 centimeter flak whirling on the Leopard is hand placed. On the Leopold is hand placed. All plants are accurate for this area of northern France, even down to the flowers. Not only did I reskin plenty of assets for this screenshot also required that I make my first ever own custom asset. Smoke firing from the K5 is custom made by myself with some help from Tyler. Awesome! This area was heavily inspired by a mix of two real-life areas. And another from an unlabeled location. I used Google Street View for the one in Wimereux to get an accurate representation of the vegetation in this area, the vegetational in this area. According to my source, it's accurate to have two identical guns, one in reserve. Oh my lord. This is ridiculous. This is, I know normally the memeing in these screenshots that East brings to the table is just memeing, but this is a serious amount of work, and I'm really impressed. As for impact, now, I would love to give this a 10 because kaboom, cannon firing, but the lighting takes away from it. You alright? The lighting takes away from it, and I don't really know how to reconcile that. I think I'll just give it a 9 and call it a day. Creativity, this is a 10. Construction. The flowers are from the right area of France? What else can I say here? What can I say? I mean, this is weird, but it seems like no stone has been left unturned here. Where's the other? Oh, is that the other gun? That's a crane. Where's the other gun? You said there were two. Two guns, no bamboozle? Where's the other gun? I need a drink. Ugh. The railroad crossing for the blocked dead-end railroad crossing. You need these signs still though. Nazi OSHA cares. Okay. These like paint sheds. Oh my God, there's so much. There's so much going on here. I see what you mean. I'm soaking it all in. Uh, I use a lot of Google Translate to get the names of a lot of assets in French. Um, yeah, how could I not give this a 10? My only concern is where is this supposed to be going, and otherwise this is ridiculous. Composition, it's outstandingly composed except for the lighting. But the lighting takes away a lot, but I'll still give it a 9. Content. Story. Okay, there are some weird things going on in the story in terms of typos, and, yeah. But other than that, I'll give it an 8. World. What's going on with that track? Uh, that's the only point I'm going to knock off for this strange dead end. Why do you need sandbags at the end of a railroad track? After tank traps? After a buffer? Are you trying to stop people from coming in this way or this way? Well, I suppose the sandbags are to hunker behind. You've built a foxhole out of a dead end. The track was used in reconstruction, but it's been ripped up. I can believe that. Relevancy. That's the end of a line. Yeah. It's definitely not the least relevant one we've had today. Completeness. Terminus of termini. Bonus points. Oh my god. That's what I've got for you. You've got a bonus point, because oh my god. The sheer amount of research, the creating your own assets and stuff like that, this is worth a lot. And I think you've won already. This is an instance where the meme does definitely deserve the win. This is earned, this is deserved, this is fantastic. I'm trying to think of something else. Eyes roll to the back of the head, snoring loudly. I'm just taken away by this. Making your own assets, putting this stuff together, researching it down to the plants and flowers, that's outstanding. Yeah. The freaking destroyed buildings. If this doesn't win, I'm going to find more bonus points. 9 plus 10 plus 10 plus 9 plus 10 plus 8 plus 9 plus 10 plus 10 plus 3. That's an 88. Hey, an 88. Yeah, this deserves the win. Fantastic submission. Please look closer. Smallest detail of people. This deserves to go out as a diorama. It really does. It absolutely wins. Short yet explosive branch line. Yeah. So, thank you, East. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Kay. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Ian. Thank you, Ace. And thank you, Shortline, for your submissions. No, I read up. I see it. The people unloading the boxcar, people to the far right next to the 88 truck. There's so much here. There's so much here. It's incredible how much is in this screenshot. I don't know how many points I can give for extreme detail. I'll give you. Well, I want to leave it as 88 because, you know. But you know what? I saw the reason why the track ends. I'm still giving it a 9. No, I'm not. I'll give it a 10. There you go. Fine, 89. it definitely deserved to win. It definitely deserves this win. So anyway, thank you all for tuning in for this stream. Research on a whole other galaxy. Yeah, this is more research than we've ever seen in a screenshot. Full stop. It's insane. And I am so thankful for all of you that put all the effort in to make these screenshots, to make these competitions happen. And I cannot wait until we come back around to 2 more rounds of this after season 5 of yes, I read it. I read it out loud. I am impressed. I'm impressed beyond belief. I I'm not sure on what basis to give more bonus points to that. But you've already won. Stop. You've already won. I wish I had an even longer like dissertation on how that screenshot was put together. But everyone here deserves a round of applause, and I'll see you very shortly for the next screenshot competition, but also for the next set of local royales, which will be region royales, which are going to be a little different, and I will explain what that means in a poll coming to you, coming to a polls and votes chat near you. So I'm going to kill this stream for now, and I have some errands to run and a dog to return to her rightful owner. Jaeger, you ready to go home? It's the Admiral, signing off. Oops, I hit start recording. Stop recording.